Hello everyone, this is Mrs. Dipti Kulkarni, lecturer, Department of Physics, KLS Kokte PU College, Belgavi. In continuation with my earlier video, electric charges and fields, in this video I am going to discuss the few more concepts on electric charges and fields. Let's begin with electric field. What is electric field? Electric field is a region in which the charged particles experience electrostatic force. Next, electric field strength or electric field intensity or electric field. Electric field strength at a point in an electric field is the electrostatic force per unit positive charge acting on a vanishingly small positive test charge placed at that point. Suppose, how we come to know this region or the space is electric field? Suppose if we consider one circle, in that circle consider charge. Okay, then take one more charge which is little bit away from the circle. Then there is a distance between these two charges. Okay, then we experience some kind of force. Why we experience some kind of force? Because this region is electric field. How we come to know this is electric field? By considering the external charge and keeping that charge in front of this Q which is present in the circle. Then we experience some force. Okay, so due to that force we come to know that this region or the space surrounded by the charge is called electric field. Then next, consider charge, positive charge Q. So we call it as source charge, and another positive charge Q naught, that is test charge. Test charge means which is very small magnitude, negligibly small magnitude. Okay, so it will not affect to the system. Both are separated by certain distance. Then what will happen to the force? Definitely the force is away from this Q. Why it is away from the Q? Because the like charges, both are positive here, like charges repel. So that is the reason the direction of the force is away from this Q. Similarly, if we consider negative charge Q and one more test charge Q naught, and both are separated by the distance, okay, then what will happen to the force here? Definitely attractive force. The force direction is towards minus Q. Why like this? Because we know that there is a if we consider the unlike charges, then the force of attraction we are observing, which we already discussed in the properties of the charges. As well as when we mark the electric field is always moving from positive terminal to infinity or positive to negative. Okay, that is the direction of the electric field. If we want to express this electric field as well as electric field strength in the equation form, then how we have to write? E is equal to F divided by Q naught, where E is electric field, F is force and Q naught is test charge. Or E is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q divided by R square, and R cap. What is this R cap? R cap is unit vector which shows the direction of what? Direction of the electric field. The test charge is considered to be vanishingly very small, and it will not affect to the entire the equation. Okay, so to test or whether the electric field is there or not, to test we are using that test charge. Okay, so which is having very negligible value or magnitude. Next one, some important points we have to remember. Number one, Since Q naught is taken positive, the direction of electric field is along the direction of electrostatic force. Second one, electrostatic force on a negatively charged particle will be opposite to the direction of the electric field. Third one, electric field is a vector quantity whose magnitude and direction are uniquely determined at every point in the field. Fourth one, SI unit of electric field is Newton per Coulomb. These are very important points we have to remember. Next one, superposition principle. So, superposition principle means what? Suppose if we consider n number of charges in one system. For example, consider this positive charge Q1, another charge Q2, Q3, Q4 and Q5. Similarly, we can consider up to n number of charges. Okay. Then what will happen to the force and electric field? Suppose if we draw the line, imaginary line between Q1 and Q2, where is the force? The force definitely it is away from Q2. That is the direction of what? Direction of the force, even direction of the electric field, because we know that the electric field is always moving from positive terminal to infinity. So that is the reason we have to show the direction of the force in this way. And similarly, the force is, of course, here it is attractive because the Q1 is positive and Q3 is negative. Force is attractive. But what will happen to the direction of the electric field? It is always moving from positive terminal to negative or positive to infinity. So electric field is towards minus Q3. Similarly for Q4 and Q5. Q5 again it is a negative charge. Already we discussed about the Q3, same here for the negative charge. Okay. And they are separated, all these charges are separated by certain distances. And we know that electric field and force both are vector quantities. Suppose if we draw these imaginary force lines, then we observe this kind of diagram. The next, what is exactly meaning of superposition principle? The resultant force on any charge due to a number of charges is the vector sum of all the forces due to all other charges. We can take the vector sum of all these charges. Consider system of n point charges Q1, Q2, Q3 so on up to Qn. So we considered here n number of charges at a distances R1, R12, R13, R14 so on up to R1n respectively from the charge Q1. Okay. Then what will happen to the force? The force on Q1 due to this Q2 and Q3, Q4, Q5. What will happen to the forces? Okay. Already we studied the Coulomb's force. General expression for Coulomb force is F is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R12 square. Okay, R1 or R square. Suppose if we are writing for particular charges, okay, then what we have to write here? F12 is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R12 square R12 cap. R12 cap is unit vector. Of course, the value or the magnitude is 1, but it shows the direction of what? Direction of F12. And this force formula is for this Q1 and Q2. Between these two charges, the force formula is F12. Similarly, we can write for F13, and this F13 force formula is applicable between this charge Q1 and Q3. So F13 is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 divided by R13 square R13 cap. Again R13 cap is a unit vector. So we can write up to n number of charges. Okay. So the force for n number of charges. So that is F1n is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Qn divided by R1n square R1n cap. So These are the expressions for the electrostatic force. Then if we take the vector sum of this, vector sum means if we add them, then what will happen? And these R12, R13, these are what? These are the distances between what? Between Q1 and Q2, Q1 and Q3 and Q1 and Q4, so on up to Q1 and Qn. Okay. Next one, if we from the superposition principle, if we add them, okay, if we take the resultant force, F is equal to F12 plus F13 plus F14 plus so on up to F1n. If we add all these forces, then finally what we have to do? We have to substitute the values of F12, F13. So after substitution, what we will get here? F is equal to 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 divided by R12 square R12 cap plus 1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q3 divided by R13 square R13 cap, so on up to where? Up to Q1 Qn R1n square R1n cap. Okay. Then in simplification, in simple manner, how we have to write? Okay, by using the summation symbol, we have to simplify this. F is equal to Qn divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Summation of Qi divided by R I 1i square, where I is equal to 2 to n. N is integer. So why I started from 2 here? Because already we considered here Q1, okay, and R1 everywhere. So that is the reason we have to start from 2. And Q1 and 4 pi epsilon naught, these two are constant. Okay, they are common. So we are not changing Q1 and 4 pi epsilon naught in each term. That is the reason we have to take it out. So what is varying here? This Q2, Q3, Q4, so on up to Qn. These numbers are varying. So that is the reason Qi, where I is equal to 2 to n. Okay. Then next, R1i cap. R1i cap shows what? It shows the direction of again force, where R12, R13, R14, so on up to R1n are the unit vectors. Superposition principle holds good for electric field also. So we can write the same type of expression for the electric field also. Next one, electric lines of force. These are imaginary lines. Either they may be straight or a curved path. Okay. So we are assuming they are straight or the curved path. Okay. So these are electric lines of force. So we may draw like straight or a curved path. If we are drawing like curved path, then to understand the direction of this curved path, we have to draw the tangent in this way to know the direction of that electric line. Next one, electric lines of force due to a point charge. Point charge means what? Single charge. Okay. Suppose if we consider Q is greater than 0. Q is greater than 0 means Q is positive charge. Suppose if we take positive charge, then what will happen to the direction of the electric field here? Of course, it starts from this main point charge here, and it is moving up to infinity. Okay. Suppose if we consider negative charge, or Q is less than 0. Q is less than 0 means what? Negative charge. Then the electric line or electric field is inward. Here it is outward. Okay, here it is inward. The electric field lines are moving from infinity to point charge. Okay, so these arrows shows the strength of the electric field. The size of the arrow represents what? Strength of the electric field. So same diagram, if we draw like this, they shows what? The direction of the electric field. So if it is a positive, then they are outward. If it is a negative, electric field is inward. Electric lines of force due to pair of equal or unlike charges. Like maybe if they are equal or unequal, then what will happen to the electric field line? Suppose if we consider this is positive charge and this is negative charge. So what will happen to the electric field line? They are moving from positive to negative. So electric field lines are moving from positive to negative. Okay. Why? Because the electric field line, for the positive charge outward it is, for the negative it is inward. So they are moving from positive to negative. Similarly, if we consider electric lines of force due to pair of equal and like charges. Like charges means this is positive, this is also positive, there is a repulsive force. Okay, there is no attraction between this positive already we know that like charges repel, and electric field lines are moving from point charge to infinity or outward. So that is the reason the diagram is like this. So we have to draw the electric field line for like charges in this way. Next one, electric lines of force due to a uniform field. Suppose if we consider uniform field means what? One side positively charged, another side is negatively charged. As we discussed in the earlier slide that the electric field is always moving from positive terminal to negative terminal. So electric field lines are moving from positive to negative. So in this way the electric field lines are moving. Next one, properties of electric lines of force or field lines. Okay, so one by one let us study the electric field lines properties. First one, the electric lines of force are imaginary lines. They are imaginary lines. We are assuming the lines are present. Okay. Second one, a unit positive charge placed in the uniform electric field tends to follow a path along the field line if it is free to do so. Third one, the electric lines of force emanate from positive charge and terminate on negative charge. Fourth one, the tangent to an electric field line at any point gives the direction of the electric field at that point. Suppose if the electric field line is curved path, then how we come to know the direction of the electric field? By drawing the tangent. By drawing one tangent to that, then we come to know that what is the direction of the electric field. Next one, two electric lines of force can never cross each other or they never intersect each other. Suppose if they intersect, then what will happen? You just carefully see this diagram, then you come to know. Suppose E1 and E2 both are the electric field lines. If they intersect, then what will happen? That is shown in this diagram. That is not possible. Electric lines of force are closer. If they are closer, then the electric field strength, of course, it is very strong. If they are spread out, where the electric field is weaker. Okay. If more number of electric field lines are present, then the electric field strength is more. If the lines are spread out, then the electric field strength is weak. Next one, electric lines of force are perpendicular to the surface of positively or negatively charged body. So always they are perpendicular. Okay. Electric lines of force contract lengthwise to represent attraction between two unlike charges. Electric lines of force exert lateral pressure to represent repulsion between two like charges. The number of lines per unit cross-sectional area perpendicular to the field lines is directly proportional to the magnitude of the intensity of electric field in that region. That is, delta N divided by delta A is directly proportional to E. Electric lines of force do not pass through a conductor. So if we consider the electric field here, so this is positively charged, this side here it is negatively charged. Between those two that strong electric field if we keep one solid or a hollow conductor, then what we are observing here, there is no, or the electric field lines do not pass through the conductor. Okay, this is also very important property. Next one, electric lines of force can pass through an insulator. Next, electric dipole. What is electric dipole? Electric dipole is a pair of equal and opposite charges separated by a very small distance. Electric dipole moment. Electric dipole moment means the magnitude of electric dipole moment is the product of the magnitude of either charge and the distance between two charges. Suppose if we consider this is minus q one charge and another charge plus q, both are separated by certain distance. That distance if we denote by 2a, then what is the direction of the dipole moment? Definitely the direction of the dipole moment is always from minus q to plus q. This you have to remember. Dipole moment direction is always from minus q to plus q, and dipole moment is denoted by p, and dipole moment is a vector quantity. Okay, then how we express this dipole moment in the expression form? P is equal to q into 2a. Q means either any charge, any one charge into 2a. 2a is the distance between the charge. Okay, and again this here I just written the expression in the vector form. So vector P is equal to q into 2a into vector A. Vector A is again a unit vector. Magnitude is 1. It shows the direction of the dipole moment. Okay. So P is a vector quantity. P is what? That is dipole moment symbol. The direction is from negative to positive always. Okay. The SI unit of P or dipole moment is coulomb meter. An ideal dipole moment is the dipole in which the charge becomes larger and larger and the separation becomes smaller and smaller. So I hope you understood all the concepts properly. For further question and answers on first chapter, please go through this link. Okay, thank you.